Utica, Ithaca, Broome counties that rely on buses to get to and from work every day, and rely on buses to get to the doctor's office and the grocery store. No, I say that kind of backward philosophies is what have saddled our region for too long, and will guarantee that we continue to live in the past and not see and embrace the kind of change that is knocking at our door if we are bold enough to seize it. That is what it's about. That's what our future vision is. That's what our region is all about. That's what we can achieve together. Yeah. Now, my friends, government service is also making sure that those level playing fields which I spoke about are in place overseas, just like here at home. That is why I co-sponsored the Fair Trade Act, which would prevent foreign trading partners like China from manipulating its currency to gain an unfair advantage. If not controlled, our trade deficits will continue to spiral, will remain uncompetitive, and we will continue to lose manufacturing jobs to foreign countries. More than that, the devaluation of currencies caused by China's unfair trade practices threaten the stability of our global financial markets. I have fought tirelessly to undo NAFTA and other unfair trade agreements. This is key to bringing America back to the world, because we cannot be a world power if we cannot make things here at home. That is critical for our workers. That's critical for our security. And most importantly, that is absolutely critical for the future of our nation. As agriculture continues to be the backbone of our region and such an important part of our economy and identity, we must continue to support farmers, period. I have fought to keep dairy prices stable in the face of recession and declining exports overseas. I authored a bill to shift milk hauling costs away from the dairy farmers and onto the milk processors where it belongs, which will mean huge and much needed savings to our local dairy farmers. I called on Agricultural Secretary Vilsack to help stabilize milk prices, and he did. Fought to improve and expand the MILC program to help dairy farmers deal with a tough economy and low milk prices. And I am very, very proud of a project we're working on in Cayuga County that takes the byproducts of cows, reprocess it through the use of biodigesters to produce methane fuel, to fuel their farms and produce high-quality fertilizer, which protects our watershed, helps our environment, and get this, eventually when the project is finished and we pipe that methane into the City of Auburn Business Park, we will produce cheap power to benefit local business. That, my friends, is vision. That is what we can achieve by working together and seeing the glass as half full rather than half empty. It is seeing our community not for what it is not, but for what it could be. If we have the vision to see what it could be and we're willing to make it so. On another front, the evolution of technology is working for our district. As we become a virtual world and a virtual economy, new opportunities are springing up, and we have to be ready for our share. I helped lead the Intelligence Authorization Act, which strengthens our cybersecurity capabilities, which naturally creates jobs locally at Rome Lab, but also will create scholarships and educational programs here in the district at schools like Utica College and SUNY IT that will lead to new jobs in the public and private cyber sectors. And together, at all levels of government, we are working to develop a nanotechnology site here in the Mohawk Valley. To make this vision a reality, it requires an all-hands-on-deck approach, and that's what we've been doing and will continue to do with the hope of attracting new business to our region. Now, we have to be nimble and realize that the old ways aren't always the path to progress. Sometimes the role of government is to pass laws. Sometimes it's to change laws that no longer suit progress. So recently I introduced a bill that would change current law to enable Remington Arms to compete for more military contracts. My job isn't only working with federal level, however, but also working with state and local officials as well. That's why I reached across the aisle to work with Senators Valesky and Senator Seward, and Assemblywoman DeStito, and Assemblyman Butler, and the governor. And we were able to change a law to open the door for opportunities that will add jobs to one of our mainstay manufacturers in Ilion, Remington Arms. Now think about this. A couple of years ago, we were talking about hoping to be able to keep the 600 jobs at Remington. Today we're talking about 1,100 jobs and counting. That, my friends, is real progress. And on the path to progress, there are no shortcuts. That's why I'm against drilling process called hydraulic fracking until it is proven to be a safe method for extracting natural gas without contaminating our key resource, our water. Because if we are to become the Empire State again, if we are to attract business, the main way, the main incentive is our water. That is the key. Our water supplies are what we need to preserve. We must ensure that our wastewater and the chemical byproducts from drilling can be safely removed, and we must ensure that our water tables remain safe. There is no excuse. There is no other choice. It is a necessity. When these issues are resolved, then and only then can we move forward. But I think the most important opportunity given as your congressman is the opportunity to listen. And it's not always about big issues or issues that we would define as big regionally. Sometimes it's making sure that a Social Security check is delivered to the right address, or that a Purple Heart that was never awarded finds its way to a deserving recipient. This is one of the greatest honors for us and all the people that work for me and for you in our office. And by listening, we learn what is most important to the people of our district, like the radio tower in Floyd that, among other things, may have been causing health concerns for the neighbors. So we helped to convene a public hearing and convince the company to raise the tower. That for us is constituent service. That for me is about being a representative to the people that I work for. Often taking the extra step requires some innovation. You know, when I was district attorney in Oneida County, we prosecuted child abuse cases to the fullest extent of the law. But there was a glaring need at the end of the day to help the victims. So we created the first ever Child Advocacy Center in New York State. Today, the Oneida County Child Advocacy Center is a model. In a few years, hopefully, that'll be high-speed rail. This one's going to be. Today, the Oneida County Child Advocacy Center is a model for others around the state, and I've supported the development and expansion of 3 others in Auburn, Portland, and Herkimer. They continue to do their great work in alleviating the sufferings of victims. Sometimes it's by knowing what's important that we find clarity in the issues facing us. When NYRE, remember NYRE? No one talks about NYRE anymore, but we remember NYRE. Remember when NYRE threatened to build a power line through our backyards, which would have permanently scarred our landscape, driven up our energy costs, and cost jobs? But we came together with our elected officials across the aisle and very, very strong local community groups, and we went to work. I brought the